Hello and welcome to the Elevenses Business Show, where we take time to reflect on our business, the business world, technology, finance, and all things business success. And this week, we're going to be talking about communication systems. We've called it the Luddites Corner. So we'll be talking about Zoom, Microsoft Teams, and Google Meet. So listen, look over into the chat where there are our links so you can contact us and follow us as well on the YouTube channel so you can see our previous shows. Right, so let's start this. As you can see, our hosts are here, and ladies, can you introduce yourselves?
Hi, I'm Over. I'm from Marion Accountancy Services. I wasn't sure if you're just going to talk first, so that's why.
No, usually it's a sound clash.
Hello, my name is Yejide Adio of Logic to Create, and we specialize in WordPress security, consultation, and tools.
And I'm Maureen Egbe. I'm the digital confidence coach, helping you simplify your systems so that you can spend more time doing the things that you love to grow your business. So, as I said, this show is about Luddites, the Luddites Corner. And we've had conversations about this because the only time that I've heard Luddites was, and I'm going to do it, when I heard someone say, "You Luddites, you." So, but I never really got it. So yesterday, can you explain Luddites? What is Luddites? What do we mean?
Please.
Okay, so apparently, and it's meant to be a derogatory way, but we're not using it in that way, just as a disclaimer. But it's a person opposed to new technology or ways of working. So you have your techies like us, and some, and then you have your Luddites, I guess.
So that's really interesting, though, because before we start talking about the systems, were you ever, because you refer to us as like techies, were you always a techie?
Oh, yeah. I love tech. Like, I literally, so I was talking to someone the other day. She's like, "Oh, what's your position in and the history of technology?" I was like, I got one of the first Amstrads, like, do you know what I mean?
Oh my gosh.
I got the monochrome screen Amstrad. I think it was like 89, 1990 or something. Yeah, I loved it. And I had a Commodore 64, and what else was the other one? There was something else, yeah. And I had one of them, the Macs with the big back, and it had the coloring. I can't remember what it's called, but anyway, yeah, I'm gonna get one of those. I need to put my story together, but yeah, I love tech. Love
tech. Oh my gosh! Wow. I mean, I avoided tech. It's so funny that I'm in and I work with technology, but I avoided it like anything because I remember. Those big back computers. But it was like everyone was learning to type DOS. Don't tell me you could do DOS as well.
No, I didn't like the language and all of that. I was like front end.
Yeah, no. Once I saw DOS, I was gone. I was like, no, text is not for me.
Yeah.
And then I fell into it.
Yeah, I feel Mover, how about you?
No, with me, I was a bit lagging behind, to be quite honest, because I remember having a good old typewriter, I loved my typewriter. It was in like a little case, you had to flick up the locks and, uncover it. And so I loved the sound of the typing of the keys. Then obviously after like move with the times, as you said, with the big back computers and then, and then with the smaller ones. But I was lagging behind. Although I wasn't opposed to IT, don't get me wrong, I was just opposed to buying it, I think.
Okay. But do you know, that's kind of interesting because that's, I suppose, what Luddites is, where that's continued, where IT has progressed, technology has progressed so much.
Yes, oh my gosh.
Yeah, and I think, yeah, sorry, go on, Maureen.
Yeah, no, in the sense of that, it's moved so quickly that it feels like you're falling behind, that what's the point of catching up? It's just like, just leave it. So
yeah,
I guess that has been the case for many people until a couple months ago, right?
Oh yeah.
Because I know there's systems where myself, me and you, Maureen, have delivered workshops or training programs where you know, people are really, we can see like the physical resistance, the mental resistance, and we're like, but you know, and but then there's an acceptance for other things, like you know, getting onto Facebook and social media. So I think the those kind of issues that are need to be tackled in terms of when you go into business, because obviously with technology you can progress in a certain way and so on, but you can't just jump onto technology without understanding how much it's going to cost you and the risks and all of that and how to use it properly. And I guess this is what these discussions will be about.
But don't you think age comes into it too? Because I attend like this tax discussion group sometimes, and one of the persons in the group said, "Oh, what's that? What's that software?" And I'm thinking, but everybody should know the software by now. But because it was of the older caliber, they haven't actually moved forward at all. They were still probably doing spreadsheets, probably, to be quite honest. But I think age is a factor though, because I spoke to my neighbour just yesterday, because I do her shopping sometimes, you know, for COVID, and she's now vulnerable. And she's saying that she doesn't understand the internet, blah, 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 which is understandable, you know, she's at that older age. But then she goes, but I can do internet banking now. I said, oh, that's fantastic. Congratulations. So funny.
Yeah.
So when you do your workshops, Maureen and Yej, do you have like an age difference, or you know, what's the age? What the age is like, basically?
We had a wide age range on one of our first ones that we did, didn't we? Like from 20, just early 20s to bordering on 50 odd or something.
To around 50s. Yeah, totally. And
in the same class.
Yeah, and you know what? It's so funny because also it's about the passion to learn something new. So if you're older and you've got the passion, it doesn't matter. It's just about the passion and the willingness to learn. I done some work for Echo, Silver Surface, and it was like people from retirement age. So I was helping people on the internet, and they were between like 60 to late 70s, almost 80s, and it was like they really wanted to be able to use, and this will lead us on to what we're talking about, the systems, about to be able to communicate with loved ones abroad, or you know, be able to communicate. And then also some were really interested in online banking and shopping, and I had a couple that wanted to do online dating, and it's a thing. No, it's a thing. You wouldn't even think. But it's a thing. It's just about giving them the access and being able to give them the tools and the training to be able to use the systems. But communication is one of the biggest things. And as you said yesterday, because of what's happened, we're looking at the systems which we can use to communicate. So, which systems were you looking at?
Yeah, sorry, just before we kind of have a look at those, I think a lot of what we just said now is giving people a reason why. And I feel like, you know, prior to the pandemic or whatever, there was a lot of trying to convince people why they should be using certain things. Apart from the overall kind of institutions and systems moving, i.e. online banking, and now you can only access your thing due to this, or maybe for, you know, some
parking,
elderly and parking and those the parking systems totally changed now. Apart from those things, they're where they're forced to, they're trying to convince and so on I feel on my side has been a bit of a struggle. And even with the security stuff, I still find that now that at the end of the day, you have to be really showing people the reason why they should adopt new technology or a new way of working. And it's been a bit of a struggle. I don't know with you guys, but now with this again, it's it's a forced scenario. You know, a lot of people have now jumped onto systems that they were willing to jump on, and I feel for me as a security person, it opens up a lot of danger. They, you know, to go onto a system where you say, oh yeah, it's going to help me and I'm going to be online, and it won't help you if you don't know how to use it properly. And it definitely would. It's more of a detriment to your business to jump on systems that you don't really know how you're using them, and enforcing them to a team if you have a team, and without the background knowledge and the planning, the budget, the strategy.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Oh, did you say budget yet?
Yes, I'm a yeah. Your favorite word. Yeah, budget is really important. It's very, very important.
Well, but the thing is, and I think with all the systems, well, you can confirm with most of the systems, you do get a free version, which you can use to, you know, get used to the system and find out how to work out how to use it, you know. And you can also reach out to people like us who are trainers that can show you how to use the systems too. But yeah, so the budget, you know, start off, figure out what system works for you, and then you can start investing to make sure that it's suitable for your needs and suitable for your business.
Definitely.
Yeah.
All right, so let's look at the systems. Yeah. So who wants to go first? We've got Zoom, Microsoft Teams, and Google Meet in terms of our communication systems.
I think Zoom should go first because that's the most, well, as far as I'm aware anyway, the most, you know,
popular.
That's out there, that's like exploded. That's so much people on Zoom, even Zoom parties now. You with me? So yeah, let's go with Zoom.
No,
I haven't attended one as yet, but
you have to, man. Honestly, you have to. Just do like me. Just, you know, set up your area. You know, set up your bar. You know, and the snacks. Fantastic.
Okay. All right. Yeah. Well, as you said, Zoom is one of the most popular communication systems, and it's been around for a while. It's kind of interesting because it was that whole thing of like Skype was the one that most people use, or most people are familiar with, first of all, in terms of being able to communicate with people from abroad or family, you know, at a distance. And then all of a sudden Zoom's come in, and Zoom has been seen more as like a businessy sort of tool. But now, due to this situation, people are now using it more for personal communication and contact and connection. I found Zoom to be really easy to use, straightforward. I just delivered a training course, Effective Meetings in Zoom for an organization. And it was quite interesting that people that were using Zoom, that logged onto it, have not actually used all the tools on there. You know, and it's not as though there's lots of tools on there, but there's lots of great tools that can make a difference to how you communicate and how you can connect with people, you know. So the good thing about Zoom, we're using Zoom here today. So guys, you can actually see, look, you know, so you can actually see the people that you're talking to. You've got a chat. If it's a group of people, you can break out into rooms where you can have individual discussions and then come back. You have a whiteboard where you can be creative, brainstorming. Really, really good at, you know, I mean, you have a free platform to start off with, but limitations of the free one is that you can only spend 45 minutes on it with up to 3 people. But if you want to go beyond the 45 minutes, it doesn't have to be, it can be a couple of people, it could be you, 2 people. I actually use Zoom for myself, you know, just to record things, record videos. There's so much that you can do with Zoom. Yeah, and I think when you come like to the other systems, I think the one thing that's better in Zoom than most is that it's the best platform for webinars. You know, because you can get up to 500, or depending on what your license is, you get so many people onto that platform. So that's just a quick overview of Zoom, but it's really easy to use. And guys, if you want to find out more, just at me, got my details in there, and I can take you through the workshop that I delivered. But let's move on. Any questions? Post it in, put it in our comments.
Yeah.
I have a question.
Oh, okay.
So, but do they have the freeness for a bit longer now? I'm sure I've been on a Zoom for longer than 45 minutes. And it's more than 3 people.
Yeah, that's called great marketing. Okay, because basically, yeah, it is. Because basically what it is that at the beginning of this, Zoom knew that people will be jumping on to use it. And it's a business. So basically, excuse me, they want you to buy a license. So if they give you more time, you're going to get into, well, this feels good. Yeah, I'm loving this. So why not spend £160 for 1 year to get more access?
Yeah.
So yes, it's only a limited amount of time that you'll get beyond the 45 minutes, and then it will revert back to 45 minutes. And then you're going to want to pay that £160 for the year. Yeah.
I think people are addicted to Zoom now, aren't they, to be honest?
Well, yeah, Zoom is like the new word, isn't it? The buzzword. Everyone's Zooming.
And then, sorry, I forgot the other great feature of Zoom. You can Zoom live to Facebook, YouTube, and this new place called Workplace on Facebook. Facebook Lives, Workplace, which is a new thing on Facebook, and YouTube. There we go.
Wow.
There you go. Okay. So which other communication tool can compete?
Ding, 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 ding.
Round 2. Go ahead.
All right, so we got Microsoft Teams. Just a disclaimer, I'm not really a Microsoft fan. However, working with clients over the couple of months, Teams has been introduced to me. And, it's got a lot of the similar features as to Zoom. So you can do your video calling, your audio calling, you can share your screen, you can do you can work collaboratively. I guess with Microsoft as well, they have the ability to integrate with a lot of their other software packages, so you can share your Excel documents, your Word documents, and work live on them. And I think for what I found with it is that it's a system that's been brought on, and maybe it was going to be introduced anyway, but it was brought on due to the circumstances. And prior to that, I've been talking about, oh, we need to do more cloud and cloud and cloud and cloud, and it's like desktop. And now all of a sudden we're on cloud and cloud. It's like, oh, that's great. But I guess the system is being used as a do what we need to do on it, as opposed to, oh, let's explore it and see what other things are on there. And so what, with the Teams, you can get it for free. And obviously there's certain restrictions on it. But in terms of, like we said, when you want to start on a system, it's good to look at the free versions and see what you can get from it. And if you do like Microsoft and you do need to collaborate and work a bit more effectively remotely and from home, then have a look at Teams.
The one thing that I will say that I will give to Teams over Zoom is that within Teams you can actually have projects.
Right.
So you can break out into project teams and collaborate and share documents, folders, and so forth. Zoom, that's not something you can do. It's almost like a one-time instance where Teams, it's a continuous connection. Yeah. Okay. So I think those kind of things, and I'm imagining that with Google, and I probably know this already because I prefer Google, but the ability for integration with these things are really really great, and it really just helps you synchronize your work more effectively. You could get things done much quicker
now than having to upload, download, go all around the houses, and those kind of things. And again, so Microsoft, and I don't know if Google's doing this, but they're really plugging the fact that it's secure. We shall see, because obviously Zoom has had a lot of security issues, and they're putting a lot into communicating how they're making it secure, and therefore Microsoft is doing the same. So, so again, sorry?
They're following the Zoom lead. They're learning from Zoom's mistakes.
Exactly. And I think this is what a lot of these systems are now doing, especially the cloud-based one, because again, cloud is one of those things that people have been resistant to go into because of a lack of awareness and the security issues or risks that they believe them to have. However, when you weigh up the benefits and the risks, and when you know about the risks, you can mitigate for them and protect yourself against them. But I think in this scenario, again, I don't know how many people did their risk assessments before just jumping onto Zoom. It was just a mad thing of, oh, we need to just get online quickly.
Yeah.
What's the system? And they went Zoom. And then Microsoft, you know, they're heavily promoting it. You see it all over YouTube now, Microsoft Teams. You see it on the TV. You see it everywhere as a solution. So, you know, those I guess, yeah, the cloud is now exploding generally anyway. So I guess there's going to be a lot more that come out of these.
Okay.
Yeah. Would you say that Teams is more for the corporate world over Zoom?
I think Teams can be will be purchased more in the corporate world because of the you know, a lot of the devices we buy is always Windows and Microsoft and so on. And I've always been a kind of, what do you call it, Android, what's the Chromebook kind of person, as well as a HP person. Do you see what I mean? But so I think Microsoft is embedded, yes, and corporates will get it. And I think what the good thing about Teams is that it's finally doing stuff that you couldn't really do with 365 properly. So 365 came out, and there was so many disconnects in it because I was using it for charities a few years ago, and it's like, oh, how come you can't just do this with a document straight away, like what you can do with Google? Those kind of things. And a lot of the charities I went to had been sold Microsoft 365 without knowing how to use it at all. So yeah, I think it's definitely more corporate and how you say it, public sector and those kind of things.
Okay. Awesome. So you mentioned Google.
Ding ding ding, round 3.
To be honest, as a disclaimer, again, I only stumbled across Google Meet a few weeks ago. I was set up a meeting with one of my staff members, and this popped up. Do you want to add Google Meet? I think Google Meet. What's going on? So anyway, I tried it. Let me just try it anyway. As you say, yeah, like I didn't even look into it at all. I just tried it, yeah, and I feel great. And it came across the same as Zoom, and probably the same as Microsoft Teams. You can share documents. You can share screens, part screens or full screens. Share your files. What I did like about it actually was I clicked on this thing called caption. I think, what did this do? And it's actually like a subtitle thing.
Yeah.
Okay. Nice.
Yeah. So so I did like that feature. With Google Meet, obviously Google has Hangouts anyway, so it's part of kind of like Hangouts as well, because I think to use breakout rooms as you do in Zoom, you have to use Hangouts in some kind of way. I'm not sure how exactly, but the features there is I think it's a bit long-winded, but it's features there anyway.
Okay.
And also, like, you can have at the moment, because because it's the situation. You can have it's normally an hour for free for up to 100 participants, but because obviously the pandemic and things, they said it's like you can have up to like 24 hours basically.
Yeah, I saw
And
that.
now I'm meeting for 24 hours. Hello, anyway. Yeah. And then the next one afterwards with the G Suite Essentials, they say the meeting length can be 300 hours. I don't know about a 300-hour meeting.
Wow. That's,
Yes.
I don't know.
That's crazy.
That is really
Yes.
crazy. That sounds like something like one of those charities, Red Nose Day, where, you know, when it's going on forever.
Yeah, oh, that's true actually. Yeah,
Okay, yeah,
like
yeah,
that.
that makes sense.
Yeah. Okay. And for that you can have up to 150 participants.
Mm-hmm.
And then after that, there's another one called G Suite Enterprise, which you have 250 participants. And again, the meeting length can be 300 hours.
Okay.
And I did quickly look into the security side, obviously after the fact. I used it, but apparently the videos are encrypted,
Okay.
which is a good thing.
Yeah.
And also it meets the IETF standard, which is the Internet Engineering Task Force.
Okay.
This is like internet standard organization, basically.
Okay.
So it meets that standard, wherever that standard is.
First time I've ever heard of them.
Something. Yeah, exactly. That's why I had to look it up. I thought, oh, who are these people? And obviously other data protection issues as well. They've got that covered as well.
Mm-hmm.
So basically with Google Meet is, as I say, the same as Zoom, same as, you know, Teams, as we all know. I like Google Meet, maybe because I use Google a lot. I use like the G Suite and things. I'm not sure if I'm actually on the G Suite Essentials. I must check, but I do use a lot of Google, like Edge.
Okay.
So I think I'll probably stay with them, maybe, depending on what I need to do, basically, to be honest. Because obviously there's other platforms out there as well, you know.
Yeah.
And guys, please tell me what you use. You know, just type it, you know, just get in contact. What do you use for your meetings or your parties or whatever, you know?
Yeah. No, totally. And I think it just goes to show, because it's interesting, because you say you're more G Suite. The organizations I've worked with, I've had to get used to 365. So same with you, More. You've stuck with one. And I suppose as a trainer, I have to use all of them. So I don't have a particular favorite, you know, so in and out of Google, in and out of 365, Zoom.
Wow.
So yeah, so it's interesting. I think as we started off with Luddites, as we started off with Luddites, I think it's just about that time of just having a play and having a go, because, you know, you're not going to know which one works better or what you're going to be used to unless you have a go.
Until you try. Of course.
Yeah, and I think so, you know, there was the and you just reminded me, because again, it is that thing of, I'm Google for my own business, but clients are 365 whatever. And in terms of webinar as well, and I don't know if you guys remember, there was GoToMeeting and GoToWebinar.
Yes.
And then I started to see that come up a bit more now. Do you see what I mean? And I was like, I totally forgot about that. I mean, I've got the app on my phone, and I was like, oh yeah, I've got this. And even that, I was like, yeah. And it's only because, again, it was a client meeting, and that's what they sent me, and I had to use it. And it's just like, I've totally forgot about that system. But then when you use something like Zoom, and you realize how you can use it in that way, and then, you know, and then you're like, oh, I prefer Zoom, and I guess it's what you're used to, and what the popularity is with Zoom at the moment. And I think what I noticed with Meet and Meet and Teams is that when you want to record stuff, you can't do that on a free thing, on a free you can't do that on a free plan. So you have to start paying. And I'm going to look into the Meet a bit more, because I'm already on a G Suite Basic. So it's like, okay, well, why is this not, why would I have to pay extra to
exactly
have the Meet features that are extra, if you see what I mean? So I'm going to look into that a bit more. And and what I found out with Meet again is that, so I sent a calendar request to somebody, and then we hadn't decided, we hadn't even discussed using Meet. We were like, oh, maybe we use Zoom, and then we're talking about the security element. I was like, let's just have a phone call for our initial discovery call. And then So I called her and she's like, oh, I'm sitting on Meet waiting for you. I was like, what do you mean? And she's like, yeah, because there was a Meet invite and it had the ID number and everything. I was like, but I didn't set that up. I didn't.
Oh.
You see what I mean? So, and I think it's what used to happen before. If you notice with calendar requests from Google, it used to have the Hangout one.
Mm.
Yes.
And now I think it is now saying that, but I had it. I was like, oh, okay. So that kind of actually forced me to use Meet for the first time, and yeah, it was all right. You know, clear. Okay. Oh no, it's the second time because I used it with Maureen beforehand. So yeah, I did a bit more with her. Shared the screen, did a presentation and stuff. So yeah, it was fine, I guess. But I guess you have to be mindful of those kind of things where. Mm-hmm. With a Google Calendar or meeting request, somebody might be waiting with you to meet while you're. Yeah, so you better define where you're actually meeting.
No, because I think when we had
sorry, 1 second. Sorry, I just wanted to say that there's one little downside I didn't like about Google Meet at the moment. What I've seen is that when I send out an invitation, it sends it out by my Gmail address. That's going to sound really strange because my Gmail address is kind of covered by Malion Accountancy Services. Mm. So when people see my emails, when I send a normal email, they will see Malion Accountancy Services. Mm-hmm. But when I send out a Google Meet request, it will show my actual Gmail attached to that.
So maybe there's something in the settings. There must be something to.
Yes, I'm going to have a look at that. Yeah.
To change
that.
That
it remains. It relates to your domain email as opposed to your Gmail email.
That's it. See, that's why I love you, Ed. You get me? Yes. I don't know about these things, man. I'm still learning.
It's just the language, isn't it? Domain is your business one.
Yeah, as I was saying, it was one of the things is like when I had a meeting with you, Yej, because I'd never used Google Meet, I had no idea, how to move around, and we had the audio issue, so I had to go into settings and so on. So I think with any system, it is before you have your meeting, go and check it out and check out the layout, because that's where the frustration starts, because you're thinking, oh my gosh, I've got someone there waiting and I'm trying to figure out how to work this, and you know what, I'm going to shut my computer because I don't want none of it. So
yeah, no, and you're right, and I think that's what the beauty is of the so the meeting request you sent us for what is that thing called again? The show and tell, and it gave participants to sign in 15 minutes beforehand, just so that we get the technology right before we start. And I think that was a good call, because it is going to be that fraffing about, and if you're time precious and stuff like that, and or even if you're presented to important prospect or that kind of thing, you need to get your technology right before you kind of start. And make sure your outputs and inputs, your microphone, your speakers, all of that is working properly. And I think they're all good in that way that you can test them out. You just got to know which ones you're using. So sometimes when I plug in like my headphones that has a USB, it will change automatically, but then sometimes it will still stay on the inbuilt microphone and speaker. And then when I use the headphones with the jack again, so you have to give yourself time to know what you're using and how you're gonna use those systems.
Good tips.
So it'll be interesting after today, guys. What are you gonna try out? Or are you just gonna stick to the one that you're on? Are you just gonna stick to Zoom? You're gonna try out Microsoft Teams?
I think I'll try Teams actually, because I've done Zoom. I'm trying Google Meet, so why not Teams as well? Are you with me? I might just try that.
Yeah, no, definitely. I think as I was saying before, what's interesting me about Microsoft Teams is for the fact of the project element of it, that you can actually set up segments for different projects, and you can communicate, share files. So that's, so it's a project management tool as well as a communication tool.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, I think personally, I'm going to use the range. I mean, with clients, like I said, I use Microsoft Teams, so I have to. With Google Meet, I'm going to use that as a like video meeting kind of tool and stuff like that. But when I'm doing recordings of how-tos or webinar sessions, it's going to be Zoom for now because it's free. And then I'll look at which ones I actually prefer and then just start. You know, if I have to look at the budget, then work out the budget, because again, with budget is that you can do it for a year and then you haven't budgeted for the next year or something like that, or you haven't and there may be new systems that come up and then you want to try those for free and so on and so forth. So I think this is where the budget really is important to have that continuity of service. And just to make sure things, I don't really advocate for what's that thing called again? Recurring bills, where they just take it straight away.
Yeah.
Stung by that.
Yeah,
I like that.
Yeah.
No, like
a lot of people get stuck by that with like their web hosting or whatever. But I guess if you don't do that, then it's just having a plan for like the month ahead or even 2 weeks, and then the week countdown to make sure that you do know that you want to go with it or you want to go with something else.
Yeah. No, and that's so important, I think, because I mentioned that Zoom for the whole year, it's 160. I mean, with most things, if you pay for that for the year, you'll get it cheaper, but you can pay monthly to have a monthly subscription. So again, depending on planning about what is it that you want to do. Do you want to host a load of meetings in 1 month and none the next? So yeah, forward planning is essential. All right, guys, I think that's been a great discussion about our Luddites.
Love Luddites now. I love Luddites.
Okay, so just before we finish up, is there anything that you would like to share, end with? Morva, is there anything you'd like to give?
Just keep on trying new systems, you know, just be broad-minded, just, you know, just continue to grow with the times. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, I think it's definitely good to explore, like we've all said. I think what also brings value is joining certain groups. So I'm part of a WordPress group. I'm like part of 2 of them. I'm part of another group that, you know, private one, where, you know, we're all talking about system as, oh, what happened to this and this happened to me and and like, oh yeah. And I find that because the other day I had some issue and I went through it and I actually documented it, and then something's like I've seen 5 posts since then and I'm like, this is what I need to get around. So that kind of helps you kind of communicate with people, but also, you know, there's a lot of artists out there and people are going through similar things, and also all of these systems have support and forums again that you can tap onto on Microsoft.com or Google and Zoom.com as well. So yeah, be willing to explore. Oh, and just one thing that I thought was really good in the last Strictly Networking that Maureen and her co-host Jermaine presented, they did an activity and we got to use a whiteboard, and I was like, oh my god, you knew.
Yeah, your drawing was brilliant.
Yeah, we had to draw this prototype, and the drawing, I didn't draw the drawing, but I managed the whiteboard features, which I didn't even know existed, and downloaded it and everything. I used it to present later. So that was great. So yeah, thank you for that. So I'm looking forward to finding out more.
No, okay. And you know what, guys, if you want to find out more about Zoom and how to use Zoom, I do run Zoom workshops. So again, please just at me Confidence, go to my Facebook page, and then we can sort out a workshop for that. And to continue, the key thing for me is that systems update all the time. So just like Morva said, one day Google Meet was there. You know, Microsoft Teams is new and exploding and growing. In fact, Microsoft Teams used to be, it's moved on from Skype, because Skype will be disappearing. It's now going to be Microsoft Teams fully outblown. But things update, systems change. So always go in, have a look, explore. You know, one day you'll be able to do something, the next day you might be able to do 10 more things. So just play, have a go in and play with the systems. Don't just stick to one, have a go. So yes, guys, let's bring it to an end. It's been brilliant. Hopefully we're changing the world of Luddites, you know, getting people more tech savvy. Okay, tune in to us, go back to our YouTube page, listen back to our other recordings or previous recordings, and we'll see you at the next Elevenses.
11.
Woo! Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
Take care, guys. Bye.
See you. Bye.